Can you beat Crash Bandicoot 4? It's about time. If every crate is a nitro, like this one. No, I don't think you can. I've never really looked into it that closely, despite all of the people who asked me to do that. I have explored that concept a few times with some other games in this series. This one, I'm not quite ready to do that just yet. This game is enough of a bitch when every crate is as it was intended to be. Jump on TNT to start countdown. I'm not going to attempt that. I'm hopefully not going to see any TNTs because I think I have modded every crate to be a nitro. Aku shields you from damage. Well, we'll see about that. Crash Bandicoot 4, but every crate is a nitro. That is something that I'm not ready to do like a full video about, or even a full live stream like I have done with Twinsanity not that long ago. Look at that. First try. That's pretty good. I can't even do any live streaming at the moment. That's kind of one of the things I want to talk about in this, whatever this is, update video sort of thing. Did you see that little nitro crate there? I don't think that one is normally there. Because here's the thing, this game has, like Twinsanity actually, it has invisible checkpoint crates. Ow. I mean, that one was visible. I should have seen that one. So normally, most of the checkpoints in Crash games are crates that you can see. And once you've broken them, you'll respawn there the next time you die. If you turn every checkpoint crate into a nitro, you no longer have the ability to do that. This game does also have some invisible checkpoint crates, including up at the start of that rail grinding section there. And then if you die on the rail grind, you will respawn where the cutscene was, even though you don't break a checkpoint crate. This mod that I've done does also turn those invisible checkpoints into nitros. I knew there was no way I was going to get through that a second time. Not only do you no longer have the checkpoint that you normally get there, but it's also created an extra obstacle in the form of an additional nitro crate where there wasn't any crates visibly there before. I think this level would normally have 104 crates. In this version it has 109 because of things like the extra invisible checkpoints and stuff like that. But anyway, why am I doing this? Why am I making this video? Not made any kind of video, oh god, for a while. I've been a little bit quiet online the last few months, and I wanted to talk a bit about why. So the big thing is, for anyone who wasn't aware of this, about 6 years ago, I emigrated, basically. I spent the last 6 years living in Australia. And that's not just because I'm a fan of Crash Bandicoot. As of the end of July this year, which is 6 or 7 weeks ago now, I moved back out of Australia, back home to sunny old England. And I'm still getting used to that. It was actually pretty warm when I got back, but now we're into September and it's freezing. So what's going on? Ah, good. There's some invisible geometry here. I don't know why. This nitro right here on the left, that's where the invisible checkpoint is. So because of this mod that I've done, it has popped an extra nitro down there as well. I don't know why the ground isn't here. This looks pretty nice, doesn't it? I do think this game looks nice, apart from some of the character models. This guy is ugly, but at least he can dance. So yeah, I moved back to England a few weeks ago now, and that's basically why I kind of disappeared for a bit. I did have, oh god, that's going to be tricky to avoid. I did have plans to do some more streaming and stuff before I left. I was in the middle of a Spyro playthrough, and not for the first time, I haven't managed to beat that game. And yet at the moment I'm not really in a position to do any kind of live streaming, partly because I just have no time, because I've had a lot of things to deal with since I got back, and I've got a lot more things to deal with in the near future. And also I don't have access to very functional internet at the moment, which is the same reason why I didn't live stream for a very long time before I went to Australia. There's a lot more I could say about that. You know, there's a lot of reasons why I went over there in the first place, and why I stayed as long as I did, and why I felt that now was the right time to come back. A lot of people seem quite surprised that I have come back. I think a lot of people thought I was going to be there forever, which was never my intention. It was certainly something I you know, I looked into my options. I was only originally going to be there for 2 years, and then by the end of that 2 years, we were right in the middle of COVID, and I decided that the place I was living was a much better place to be than the one I'd left behind. So that's kind of the main reason why I ended up staying for longer than I originally planned to. And then by the time my next visa expired, and I'd been there for 4 years, you know, my whole life was kind of there, and I couldn't really imagine how I could come back. But, oh, I could have done with keeping that mask. But yeah, you know, for various reasons, I decided to not pursue getting another visa when my latest one ran out. Kind of those last few weeks were absolutely insane. There's got to be a way to drop below that nitro before you hit it, I think. Those last few weeks were mad. You know, I spent a lot of time packing and throwing away everything that I owned, basically, and oh, it was crazy. And, you know, I had some videos I did want to make. I did want to do a lot more streaming as well, but I kind of had to prioritize, like, spending time with friends who I wasn't going to see again for quite a long time and stuff like that. And it's been the same since I got back. You know, I want to catch up with people and try and get myself settled and sorted as quickly as possible. But, you know, one of the benefits of being back now are, well, one of the problems I had all the years I was there, because I knew that I was always planning to leave again at some point. I was always kind of thinking ahead to, you know, the day, which turned into several weeks, when I would have to start getting rid of all the stuff I've accumulated. That's like the main reason why I never bought a proper PC. I just keep buying shitty, cheap laptops that never last very long. And like that's why I never bought a new microphone all the years I was there. I kept using the horrible Blue Snowball that I've had for about 9 years that everyone constantly complains about. I have finally replaced it now. This is kind of my first test of it, actually. I'm still figuring out all the settings. Everything has so much like AI processing and post-processing, and oh, I don't know how good this sounds yet, but hopefully better than my old one. Can you hear the buttons on this controller that I'm using? Because here's a fun thing. I'm actually playing with a DualShock 2, my original DualShock 2 that came with my PlayStation 2 that I got about 25 years ago. I've finally been reunited with all my old consoles and stuff, and I love it. It's kind of great. But you may know that for the last few years at least, the main, the main controller that I've been using on PC has been my old DualShock 3 from my PS3, which I love. I love the DualShock. But the other day, I finally had an opportunity to play a game on my actual PS2 for the first time in a long time. I actually played through Crash Twinsanity because I do love that game. And as I was playing it with this controller, I was like, oh my god, this feels so good. Like, it's better than DualShock 3. Like, something about the analog sticks are more like clicky and springy, and it just feels so much nicer. You don't get the same triggers you get on the DualShock 3 with this one, but those don't seem to work with this anyway. I'm using an adapter, I should have said. I bought a USB adapter. I played through Twinsanity on my PS2. I was like, oh my god, this is the best experience I've had of playing a video game since the last time I used my PS2. I need to get an adapter for this. So I did, and I'm using it. I love it. I'm so happy. Oh, everything is, apart from the weather, everything in my life is improving so much now that I can buy things again. Now I just need to buy a house. Now, what's going on with this game? Why am I not progressing very far? Clearly, I have been able to jump over this, and by the way, no, you can't really squeeze past. Oh god, I shouldn't have done that. Those gaps on the side are not as big as they look. But yes, there is some weirdness with the Aku-Akus in this game, because like the other games, if you die enough times, you do get some masks for free. But I think something about how the checkpoints work, like, normally this is beyond a checkpoint. Well, there's a checkpoint crate that you break just before the steps, and then there's another checkpoint that's just happens automatically where the cutscene is. And I think something about how that works kind of messes with how the Aku-Aku masks are given. Because, like, normally, at least in the original games, I think you die like 6 times, 5 or 6 times, and you get 1 mask. You die another 5 or 6 times, and you get a second mask. And a couple of times while playing this here, you'll have seen I have spawned with 1 or 2 masks, but not consistently. Here's the first checkpoint, this crate down here. So maybe if you die 6 times before you get here, you'll start spawning with the mask. And then maybe if you die 6 times in between here and where the cutscene happens, you might get a mask. But I don't know. I think the game's just very confused about which checkpoint I don't know. I don't know how this game works. I did experiment a little bit with modding the Switch version of this game when that released many years ago. Kind of just because I wanted to have a look at it, you know, I was kind of interested, but also I wanted to be the first person in the world to mod the game. And I did that and I was satisfied. And I wasn't really interested in doing anything else with it. But I do have the game on PC now because at some point, like 6 months ago, I think, whenever it was that I streamed this game, it was very cheap on Steam. And I finally got around to learning again how to mod the game. I kind of looked up some tutorials about stuff like that and I didn't understand any of them. So I just found the old files for my Switch game that I modded and kind of worked backwards from there to figure out what I'd done. I think you can beat this level because I have looked into this in the past. If you get enough masks. I don't know if there's any levels in this game you can beat without any masks in this state. Maybe, which one is it? Oh, I'm playing on a new game because of this weird checkpoint thing that breaks everything. Is it Off Balance? Is that what it's called? The level where, I guess it's the blue gem. If you don't break any crates, you get a gem. I'm going to try killing myself a few times before the first checkpoint, see if that helps. There is one level in this game. It's designed to be beatable without breaking any crates. But that doesn't necessarily mean you can beat it without touching any crates. The other thing about this invisible checkpoint thing is it means you can't use bonus round platforms as checkpoints like you can in some of the other games. There's no checkpoint like associated with the bonus platform. There is actually another one of those invisible checkpoint crates next to the platform, which is why you respawn there if you die. So that's not an option here. I was hoping that maybe if I killed myself enough times here, it might give me a mask, but no, it does seem like turning the checkpoints into crates breaks things more than it does with some of the other games. It's interesting to see the different consequences of trying this with the different Crash games, because, you know, they're all made by different developers in different engines at very different times. Unless I change something about how I've done this, I might not even be able to get through the first level. What I've thought about doing, and I have talked about this before, is because like there's so many problems with trying to beat most Crash games with every crate as a nitro, maybe I'll have a look at a different level because this isn't getting very far. I don't really feel like it would be that interesting to do, you know, what I've done before with Crash 1, 2 and 3, where I look at the whole game and try and figure out if there's a way to do it. For the most part, I don't think there is with these other games. I think this is it, Off Balance. Is it? Oh no, it's Dragging On. You can see the blue gem there. You get that by not breaking any boxes, so maybe this one's doable. But what I thought about doing before is like just a one-off video that's like, can you beat this game if every crate's a nitro? No. Here's the point where you can't get any further. And then next game and next game and next game, just do like all of them in one video and get it over with. And then people keep asking me, can you beat Crash 4 if every crate's a nitro? I can just say, no, here's the reason. Just look at this part of this video and you'll see why. And this might be a problem. Now here's a question. Did I change the time crates as well? Oh, yes, I did. I follow the ghost and sneak through here. No. Is this right? This is the level where you get the blue gem by not breaking any crates. Is that right? Because at the moment I'm struggling to see how I can even start the level. It's entirely possible that normally there aren't any crates here, and I've done something very wrong. I do know that not everything is correct. I had a look at this flashback tape. There's something weird here. These crates at the start. So I think all of these blue outline crates would actually be red outline crates, as in the ones that temporarily activate when you hit a special kind of switch, which is this first crate down here. So even though in other places I've successfully turned those into nitros, here they've turned into blue outline crates. And I don't know. I don't know why, I don't know how to fix that. This is not a complete mod, I'll have to figure it out later. Also, somehow, there's a crate up there in the top right, which is a nitro, but it's still got a question mark symbol on it. And I have no idea what that is or why. And there's another one I just saw at the far right of the screen over there. Also, for some reason, I'm not dying when I'm jumping on these. I know that's a thing that can happen sometimes. Maybe it's easier to do than I thought. Oh no. So this mod isn't complete. Maybe when it is, even if I don't do like a full playthrough of this, maybe when I've figured out how to fix these little things that I've missed off, maybe I will release it as a mod, you know, and someone else can try and figure it out. But not right now. I kind of just wanted to make a really short, brief video to say, hey, I'm not dead. I've got a lot of things going on, but I've got a new microphone. That's my commitment to coming back at some point. I just want to have a look at this level because I know there's a lot of crates in this level. And I feel like this one could be difficult to do. How many are there? 482. Can you beat this level if there's 482 nitros in it? I don't... Oh, I got pretty lucky there. There are definitely a lot more forgiving in this game than some of the others, with the ability to jump off a nitro without it killing you. And I mean, the fact that you've got these TNT barrels does help quite a lot in situations like this. I mean, I've already broken 76 crates. I've been playing this level for like 1 minute. I've broken 76 crates, which is mad. Dingodile's complaining that he doesn't want to... Ow. He doesn't want to jump on any TNT crates. Don't worry. I don't think you're going to have to in this level. I wanted to get back down there because I saw a little guy carrying a nitro crate. I think normally that would be a TNT, right? And it's just... It looks very strange to see someone carrying a nitro crate without it exploding. I don't know what the worst level in this version of the game would be. I haven't found one yet that that you can beat, although I'm sure I have done in the past. Like when I made my can you beat Crash 3 if every crate's a nitro video, I started that off with a little compilation of a few other games in the series, including this one, which was actually, I did kind of show the point at which I couldn't get any further, which is sort of what I described earlier, but I'd want to do it again with like more explanation and more focus on like the weird things, the weird things that come up with each game that are, you know, different and unique to each game, I guess. I don't really know how big Dingodile's hitbox is. It's a little bit awkward to get past some of those, but yeah, I just wanted to have a look. I'll look at this guy here carrying his nitro box. How does he do that? This guy could beat Crash Bandicoot 4 with every crate as a nitro, but I don't think Dingodile can. Just as one final thing, this is level 3, I believe. This is a real grind, and I think this is the point at which, even if you can get through the earlier levels, this is where I couldn't find a way to get any further. And there might be a way to do it, because like I know there's some crazy mad things you can do with the masks that like speedrunners use to skip massive parts of levels later on in the game. But I don't know if this mask in particular will allow you to do anything like that. And ow, I got eaten by a shark. And I think again this level has some problems with the weird checkpoint system. There are definitely some that are unavoidable later on a rail grinding section. Again, it's the rail grinding I think quite often is going to cause some problems. And normally you would be able to give yourself a couple of masks, so you could at least break through 2 nitros without dying. But I don't know if there is an invisible checkpoint somewhere in this level before you get there, which is causing the same problem that I was seeing earlier on. But oh god. So yeah, this section, if you have 1 mask, you can break through this one. If you have 2 masks, you can break through the next one. But then I think there's something completely impossible to get past further ahead. I'm not going to try killing myself another 6 times. I think I just have to assume that something I've done has broken the game more than just changing what the crates are. Maybe if I change back the invisible checkpoints to be invisible out checkpoints again, maybe it'll work a bit better. I need to do a bit more experimenting with it. I've just died about 1,000 times in different places and I finally got a mask. We'll see if I can get past that one that killed me before, but I don't think it's going to be enough. This game is 5 years old now, pretty much. Can you believe it? Isn't that crazy? It's about time. What I'm talking about is about time. This series is almost 30 years old now, which is perhaps scarier, because I remember playing it a long time ago. Look at that, I managed to bounce off that one without dying. That's definitely, like, out of all the Crash games, this is definitely the one where you have the most chance of surviving jumping off the top of a nitro like that. but I don't know if there's any way to do it consistently. And I don't think that'll be very helpful at all in sections like this, where, like, I don't think there's any possible way to avoid hitting that. And yeah, you'll need some more for that section as well, I think. And I've lost the mask that I had. I don't know if I can go and take a look. I'm still figuring out how to do this. The level might... Yeah, it hasn't loaded far enough to see. Oh my god, where am I? Later in this level, there is like a crate bridge, and that, I think, will be an issue. I've got too much to do right now to spend much longer playing this, but maybe in the future, maybe eventually. Let me know if you do really want to see a full video about this one day. I'll certainly release the mod at some point when I've done it a bit better, if no one else has done that before me. Where does this go? Anyway, I think I'm done. I think I've had enough already. This was such a well planned out and thought out video. I'm going to jump on this and see if I can survive. I didn't. Happy birthday to Crash Bandicoot 4, whenever that is. Soon, I think. Happy birthday to Crash Bandicoot in general. Next year, I guess, is the big one. Will he come back again? I don't know. I hope so. Where's he gone? Here he is. Oh, look at him. I don't completely hate him in this game. I like it when he does his dance.